And we are live. I am so excited to be here with my friends today. This is Miko Pickett, and I will introduce my friends in a minute. But for now, please, y'all, go ahead and share this live. We are going to be talking about the SC Stay Plus program and and this program is for renters. My friends will tell you a lot more about it, but the program is for renters. And guess what? They're coming to Mullins on Saturday. Okay, so if you are a renter or know somebody's a renter who could use some help with either their rent and or their utility bills, y'all want to hear from these two ladies. Okay, so for the next, give me a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and share it. And ladies, if you can help me as well by sharing to your walls, and let's go ahead and get the word out about this awesome live session we're going to have. And we're not going to be before you long, guys. My friends are so happy to be able to jump on kind of last minute to share this information with you. So we're going to give you the information and then we're going to jump off. All right. So help me share. All righty. So with that, let me put my phone on mute because this thing will be going off. So welcome to Pick 42 Foundation's live stream. I have Natasha Pauling with me. Hey, Natasha, I'll let her introduce herself in a second. And I have Tiffany James with me.
Hello.
And they are here today representing SCACAP. And SCACAP is South Carolina Association of Community Action Partnerships, Inc. And there's many organizations that are similar to SkyCap, and they're going to explain that to you in a minute. Uh, these two ladies, I actually pretty much see them every Tuesday. We're part of the Zero COVID Coalition, so it's good to see you on one of my platforms. So thanks again so much for joining. Let's start with Natasha. So Natasha, what is your role with SkyCap, and what do you do?
I'm the Resource Development and Public Information Officer for SCACAP. Thank you so much for having us here. One of the biggest parts of my role is to make sure that people know the plight of the poor so that we keep them in mind whenever people are making plans, if there are opportunities for resources and so on. We make sure we say, hey, don't forget about the people that we serve. And so the biggest part with COVID is that many of the hardest hit areas were places where people were poor because they have limited resources, limited access to medical care, and so on. So SCOCAP wanted to be a very big part of that and make an impact for the people that we serve every day.
And you have been, and you have been. I mean, when we first got started with running our vaccine clinics here, we was on such a super tight budget, and SkyCat was like, "We'll buy breakfast for your volunteers." So we thank you all so much for your support there. And my friend Tiffany James, you have so many. There's so many layers to Tiffany. But for today, tell us about what you do for SkyCap, what your title is, and your role, please.
Absolutely, Miko. It's such a pleasure to be here with you all today, and with you as well, Natasha. I'm Tiffany James, and I am the Vaccine Equity and Community Outreach Coordinator for the COVID Voices program at SkyCap. So that is my role there, and as you all heard from Miko, I'm also the Zero COVID Coalition director as well, and SkyCap is a part of Zero COVID as well as Pick 42, and Zero COVID is a part of the We Care Coalition.
We're all
So
working
there's love
together, right?
all around, love all around.
Yes, yes. So, Natasha, what is SC Stay Plus?
SC Stay Plus is a rental and utility assistance program. It's funded by Treasury, the U.S. Department of Treasury. It was launched in May of 2021 and was specifically designed to assist those who are experiencing financial hardships and housing challenges as a result of the COVID-19 global health emergency that's disrupted the lives of so many people. So, if you lost your job, lost your hours during COVID, if you found that rent was increased, if you found it more difficult to pay rent because of increases in prices, because of the price increases that people are experiencing across the board, then that is a reason why the SC Stay Plus was created. The SC Stay Plus program was created. The
Okay.
program can help. Oh, go ahead.
So the SC State Plus, we're
Mhm.
down here in Marion County. Does it apply to us? Is this something that Marion County can get access to?
Absolutely. It's a federal program, and there were only a small number of cities in South Carolina that were eligible to apply directly, and Marion County was not among those. And so you're definitely eligible for the state program if you live in Marion County.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. And who's eligible for this program?
Eligible people must be a renter. They must meet federal income requirements, and those can be found on the SC State Plus website because the income guidelines vary from county to county. You have to have a household member who is at risk of housing instability, and you have to have experienced some financial hardship due to COVID-19. Now, you don't have to say, hey, I had COVID or anything along those lines because you don't have to have had COVID. As a matter of fact, one of the things that the federal government has acknowledged is that due to inflation and other financial hardships that have been a result of this crisis, that everyone should fall into that category. They've been impacted by COVID.
I know that's right. I
Yes.
know that's right. Because it's, one in our community, a lot of people never couldn't, we couldn't afford to stop working.
Yes.
We were the essential workers. So a lot of these programs that came through, they didn't get benefit of because they had to keep working, but still, they were impacted. And so what are some of the things that they cover? Like SSA Plus, what kind of help would be provided?
Let's see. They can provide rental assistance. Sorry. They can provide utility assistance. They can provide assistance with moving expenses. And one of the main things that people don't realize is that they can actually provide defense for people who are subjected to um, their landlords trying to end their lease prematurely. And so they do have eviction defense. Um, when I say that they have moving assistance, they can actually pay for hotels. They can pay for the deposit for you to move to a new place. They can pay your first couple months rent. And so they can sort of help you to get onto your feet when the program kicks into place. Also, storage and moving fees for the people who are going to move your items as well.
Okay. Okay, well that's good to know.
Mhm.
So, guys, just as a quick little sidebar, Saturday, April 2nd from 9 to 12 p.m. at the Mac T. Hines Health and Enrichment Center, we will hold our very last, we as in the We Care Coalition will hold our very last vaccine clinic for the unforeseeable future. We don't know when things may change, but
Mm.
for right now, April 2nd will be our last clinic. So if you've been on the fence about whether you wanted to get the vaccine or not, now it's time. So we can get it with us and you can experience
Mm.
the We Care Coalition Vaccine Clinic. Okay, that's Saturday. Now, the Natasha's organization, the Tiffany's organization, SCACAP, they are going to be with us on Saturday. They're going to be taking applications on site. So these are not referrals. Literally, they're going to be helping you begin that process. Okay. And so, in order to begin that process, you're going to need to have some information with you when you come on Saturday. Now, let's say if you want to get information, you want to start the process to fill out the application for SC Stay Plus because you need help with your rent or you need help with your utilities, but you do not want a vaccine. That's fine. You do not have to if you do not have to get a vaccine in order to get help from SkyCap. Okay, if you only want to come to get help from SkyCap, come. That's Saturday, Mac T. Hines Enrichment Center from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Now, ladies, I'm going to go ahead and share um, let me see, how do I get this to share? Give me a second. I got to go to this view. I want to share the steps that they need to take. Okay, so when they come on Saturday, it's like a 3-step process in terms of the documentation. And the first thing is you need to have personal identification. Pick one. So either bring a driver's license, a state ID card, a birth certificate, a passport, a military ID, a student ID, a Medicaid card, a voter registration card, or other South Carolina issued identification. Wow, they just want to know who you are. There's a lot of options, right?
Right.
Okay. So the second thing is you need to bring proof of having a lease because remember, this program is just for renters. So you need to either bring your current lease, an expired lease, a tenancy agreement, or a landlord certification form. Now we know you can't bring the landlord certification form, but if you don't have the lease or a current lease or expired lease, what they told me you can do is bring 60 days of bank statements or Zelle or Cash App or rental receipts showing that you have paid rent. Okay? So when you come on Saturday, have your ID, have your lease, and or maybe bank statements or something proving that you have been paying rent at that address. And then the last thing that you need is you need proof of income. So proof of income can be one pay stub at a minimum dated for at least 60 days. So don't bring a pay stub from last year. It has to be either a March or February pay stub that you need to bring with you. You could bring your Social Security Administration benefit letter. You could bring your unemployment letter with benefits stating that the benefits would have to be after um, January 1st, 2020. You could bring your child support agreement. You could bring a letter um, dated after January 1st, 2020, confirming that you're receiving child support and any other unemployment documentation. And last but not least, you also need to bring a, if you're behind on your utilities, bring those bills as well. Okay, so I said a lot. Do you all have any questions? Let me see. Do we got some questions? All right. So the first question is, I'm going to take this down. Got some questions for the ladies. If you have any questions, because we've talked about the SC Stay Plus program. Natasha shared with you what kind of help you can get. We kind of just went through the things you need to bring. If you have any questions about that so far, feel free to jump in. We do have a question from Robin Seeley, and she says, "Oh, this is a question for you, Tiffany." And the
Okay.
question is, what about the fourth shot that was just approved?
Yes. So the fourth shot that was just approved, it was just announced this week that if you're 50 and older, and if you have pre-existing conditions, that you can get your fourth shot. So if you already got your 2 shots in your booster, you are now eligible to get your fourth shot. So they did not release anything for anybody under 50 yet, but anyone 50 and older, as well as anyone with pre-existing conditions, whether you're 50 or not, that
Okay,
it's okay for you to get your fourth shot
your
at this
fourth
time.
shot. Is that
Yes.
both Moderna and Pfizer, do you know, or is it one or the other?
It is for Pfizer for sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure about Moderna, but it's for Pfizer for sure. And of course, we all know that Johnson and Johnson is no longer on the market.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yes.
Keep your tongue, Miko. I'm not gonna say I'm live, so I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, but I did not know that. And that's good news that they're no longer on the market.
Hmm.
Um, so and then another question is from Robin as well. What do we need to bring for assistance? And we kind of told her, right? You guys, if you need to bring copies of your you need to bring your ID, you need to bring copies that you are proof that you are indeed renting. If you do not have a lease, then you need to bring your rent to payments and or a bank statement showing where you have paid rent. Okay. And also bring your utility bills. So let's say this is a question for Natasha. Let's say that you are on, you're not behind on your rent, but you're behind on your utilities. Can you still get help?
You
Or
absolutely can get help as long as you are a renter. If you're a homeowner, you can't get help under this program. But there are other programs through SC Housing that you can go and look for, and so make sure that you go to their website to check that out as well. And it's schousing.com, and you can navigate to their homeowners assistance program.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Any other questions, guys? So we have these experts on from SCACAP, so make sure we take an opportunity to ask some questions. So
Well,
Tiffany, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Um,
also, oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, Natasha.
Oh, I just want to let you know I found the income guidelines specifically for Marion County, and so I
Perfect.
wanted
What
to
is
let you know what those were.
yeah,
Awesome.
For it's 80% of area median income, and so for a single person, it would be $29,350. For a two-person household, it's at $33,550. For a three-person household, $37,750. Four-person household, $41,900. Five-person household, $45,300. And it goes up to an eight-person household at $55,350. And I actually put the link to that in the chat as well.
perfect, perfect. So let me see if I can just copy and paste that. That is awesome. So if I'm living in a house by myself, let me just break that
Mhm.
down a little bit. If I'm living in a house by myself, that means
Yes.
I'm a single person household and I make $29,000. I meet the income limit.
$29,350, and you do.
Okay, and so if there's four people in my house, what is the income limit if it's four people?
If it's four people, it's going to be $41,900.
Okay. So guys, if you got four people in your house and you make less than 49,000, then come on. Come on. If you need and you're a renter and you need help, come on down to the Maxine Hines Health and Enrichment Center, um, located at on Laurel Street, right next to St. Paul Baptist Church. And
Um,
guys, we have Kadarius in the
chat.
green room.
Yes.
Yes, so Kadarius, I'm gonna bring you on live. You're gonna explain. Here we go. All right. Well, welcome to the show, Kadarius.
Hey, Kadarius.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Great.
All right.
Wonderful.
So help us understand. So you're saying that the SC Stay Plus program. What are you saying about Section 8?
Okay, well, to start off, Ms. Tasha did an amazing breakdown of the program. She pretty much got out all the information that's really needed to know. It's just some little smaller things like people who are on Section 8 or using any other type of public housing benefit are still able to get help through the program. It'll just be they'll be receiving help with their utilities. So unless you're really just a homeowner, there's no one is getting excluded from this program, whether you're regular renting or you're going through Section 8 or public housing. I just want to throw that little piece of information in there just for anybody that may come that may be on Section 8 or some type of public housing that they are still able to get some type of help too.
Gotcha. So let's say if they're on Section 8 or public housing, they need to bring their ID. What do they need to bring? Let's say they're not behind on their rent, but they're behind on utilities, or maybe they're not behind on utilities, but they can use future help with utilities. What is it that they need to bring on Saturday?
Okay, so you're saying if they're not behind on rent, are you
They're
saying for someone that's doing public housing or
Yeah, they're
Section 8
public
or
housing. They're Section 8 public housing, not behind on rent, but need help with utilities.
okay, so just like with rent, with getting assistance with rent, you don't have to be behind.
Okay.
So it would just be the same. They would bring their ID, proof of income. They still have some sort of lease that will show that they are receiving public housing. They can bring that, and just bring their utility bill. We'll get the
Gotcha.
information together, and they'll get uploaded into their application,
Okay.
and go from there.
So let me back up a little bit, make sure I understand that.
Yes, ma'am.
So if they're not behind, so let's say they are a renter
Mm-hmm.
and they're not behind,
Right.
they can still apply for
Yes,
help.
ma'am. Technically you do not have to be behind to need help and get assistance from this program. It's just a boost that you can get those months behind. So it's another way to bring more people in because you're able to get that assistance if you have utility or rental arrears. But say maybe you need help, but you just caught up with everything. You caught up with all your bills, or you caught up with all your rent. But maybe you're on the low end of your funds, and you know this next month gonna come in, and you're gonna need a lot of help. You can still get that assistance. All it's gonna take is the same stuff that you would bring in if you had arrears, if you had money owed. You'll still bring that same information. The only thing that'll be different would be that you don't have to show that you are late on payments. And with creating an application, it asks certain questions that lead to if you are owing, if you're not owing, and it still allows you to continue the application.
And Kadarius, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Marion County is one of those counties where you can self-attest to your income. Is it not?
I'm not for sure about that one. I could look it up, but I'm not for sure at the moment.
Okay. And so there are counties in South Carolina where you don't actually have to have proof of income, just in case someone is unable to get that. And I
Oh,
think Marion County is on the list.
it could be. I know as far because we do have people who may not have any income. Um, there really the way the application is set up, there's a lot of questions to give a full breakdown of that.
Hmm.
So there's several ways to say if you have zero income, whether you're not receiving anything, or maybe you not have a job, but maybe you're receiving child support or some type of other assistance. There's questions throughout the application to pinpoint all of that.
Okay, perfect, perfect. And this next question, thank you so much for joining us, Kadarius. We
Yes, ma'am.
appreciate your expertise. This next question is for Tiffany, and it's one of our final questions. And that is, Tiffany, we are bringing SCACAP to the COVID vaccination clinic on Saturday to actually do this on site, right? To help people apply on site. Well, how do you feel about kind of doing this type of community outreach at a vaccine clinic? I think I know how you feel, but why is it important?
No, absolutely. It is very important because, as we all know, COVID has hurt our communities in so many different ways. Because of COVID, all the issues that we had before has been exasperated. So, whether people were struggling with food insecurity, whether people were struggling with, just income and not being able to pay their bills, utilities, rent, or what have you. These are issues that we had before, but COVID honestly has just made it a lot worse. And we saw that. We saw that throughout the pandemic. So it's important to have other resources available when people go get vaccinated because, keeping ourselves safe means keeping people in their homes as well. So we want to make sure people have homes so we don't, unnecessarily spread the virus even more so.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I saw someone put a question in the chat from Facebook, rather, saying that so it's a good idea for landlords to let their tenants know if they're getting behind. Yes, yes,
Yes.
it is very important for you to do that. You can fill this out with the tenants if you like.
We actually had some times where in the pop-up clinics that we attended, tenants actually came. I mean, excuse me, landlords actually came with their tenants' information and created applications for them, and would just bring their tenants on the phone. And we actually do have some other places where we've heard that the tenants were reaching out to the landlords were reaching out to their tenants and let them know about the application, let them know to sign up.
Or if you believe your tenants are going to be having trouble, because I live in a small community, Mullins is a small community. I know how it is. So you know if that person lost their job. You know if that person is having issues at the moment, financially speaking. And so if you know they're having a tough time making ends meet, let them know about the program. Like Darian said, you do not have to be behind. And so if a couple of months of being able to recover economically from the impact of COVID would assist them to get on their feet, by all means, that's what the program was designed to do. Have them go ahead and apply.
Awesome, awesome. And so another question on in the chat, and this is also from Facebook. Somebody says, "How can we apply with a major issue in Marion County being transportation?" So to kind of explain that a little bit, I think is that what she's saying is yes, we're having the vaccine clinic at Mac T. Hines Health Enrichment Center Saturday from 9 to 12 um, in Mullins, but some people don't have transportation to get there. So
Mhm.
and please elaborate, but I'm going to attempt to answer the question is that this is SCACAP is coming to the clinic, but this is not the one and done. If you still need help or if you're unable to make it this Saturday, you can go online to pdcap.org. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put that out there. And then pdcap.org, and that's our local agency. And is that correct, guys?
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, if you do reach out to PDCAP, not only does PDCAP have these resources, they have a variety of other resources that are designed to help people who are in poverty.
Awesome, awesome. So, PD, can you explain, Natasha, the relationship between SCACAP and our own local PDCAP?
Absolutely. SCOTCAP serves all the community action agencies in South Carolina. As a matter of fact, people don't know a lot of the times what is this community action thing. So we were actually created by Congress in 1964, and we were funded and regulated by the CSBG block grant ever since the 80s. So, in case you're unfamiliar with our purpose, our only purpose is to help end poverty in the United States. There are over 1,000 agencies across the country that are doing just that, and we have 14 agencies here in South Carolina, and PDCAP happens to be serving your area.
Awesome,
So,
awesome.
what the only thing SCOTCAP does is we serve the interests of the agencies. We serve the interests of Head Start, and we serve the interests of weatherization. And so, anytime we can make their name known in the community, that we can increase their resources, that we can make sure that people know about the services that are available there, that can help people get up out of poverty. That's what we do. We take every opportunity to do so.
And you do a very amazing job. I thank you all
Thank you.
so much for what you do at SCACAP. I look forward. Kadarius, are you going to be with us on Saturday, or is it somebody else?
I'm actually not going to be there, but we will still have people coming out taking applications. That will be amazing for the job. They'll be able to take a lot of people in. They'll know exactly how to do everything. They'll have it in full motion.
Y'all heard it. Full motion. Love it. Love it. I know everybody knows exactly what that means. Coming together as one community, multiple agencies working together to bring you resources that you need to get utility bills paid as well as rent paid, whether you're behind or not, but especially if you're behind. So, with that, guys, I thank you all so much for your time today, and I look forward to our future conversations. So you guys have heard it. My friends from SkyCap, and also obviously our local PD Cap, they're going to be here on Saturday. Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Mac T. Hines Health and Enrichment Center, where we will be having our very last vaccine clinic. Okay, so our vaccine clinics, remember, the first 50 will receive a $20 gift card. The first 50 adults that are vaccinated receive a $20 gift card. The first 50 children, while supplies last, will receive a $5 Burger King gift card. Our chef, Ken Sane, will be out there frying fish for everybody. So we're looking forward to that. And now this week we have added on SkyCap, who will be on site actually taking applications, putting them in the system for you, so you don't have to worry about going back home and not having access to internet. Just make sure you bring what they need. Make sure you bring your ID. Make sure you bring a copy of your lease. Make sure you bring a copy of your utility bills. You guys should be good to go. So with that, I will be there as well. I see you on Saturday, and I wish you all a very wonderful day.